more than that is for Goa and other states. What the Prime Minister of late has been talking about, that the people are not realizing the importance of tourism as a development input in the whole planning of the state or the center. Prime Minister in every meeting, and 3 days back I was in Advantage Assam, he spoke about investment, but he spoke twice or thrice about tourism. So this is a very, very happy change that the government is thinking about tourism as an important input for inclusive growth. HII has also aligned with the government's ideas, and our members have been leading Tradition, Taj and others on two or three of the most important things which are happening now and which Goa perhaps is aware of, all of you tell us, and needs to. One is sustainability, because reports after reports coming from World Tourism Organization shows that the foreign tourists nowadays are very choosy. They go through the websites and all, find out which places are sensitive to sustainability and which are not, and they are avoiding. I understand Goa has had the adverse impact of some of the countries doing that, but we have to remove that. The other thing is about technology, because technology is changing completely the customer interface that Mr. Kachru was talking about, and the efficiency, but at the same time not to lose employment. Now, what we are saying is that more and more hotels, the hospitality industry, are accepting this supply chain locally, so that everything is oriented towards the community and the local supply chain. So that creates 100 times more employment than the direct employment, which is about 2 persons per every new room that you add, gives about 2 persons extra employment directly. So these are the implications which HII is trying to bring to forefront. We have a magazine, we have a newsletter, and I don't have sufficient number of copies, that's why I have not of the magazine. But
we'll be very happy to share with you.
It is on online also. Yeah. So our magazines address issues every time, and the issues are last issue was on heritage. And again, we will say that we talked to the, Sally mentioned about our meeting with the Chief Minister and
we will, please go ahead.
So we had meetings, and Mr. Kachru will tell you about what meetings we had and what we have to do. Basically, this is all about, we are not, compared to many other, when you think about an association, you will think that the association is only focusing on the demands of the members, which we do, certainly. Members have problems, and we have those problems which government can solve, we bring to them. But we are doing more than that. What we are doing is that we are collaborating with the government on positive side. Whatever government is doing right for tourism and hospitality, we like to collaborate. And we create awareness among our members. For example, we have signed a memorandum of understanding with international organizations about sustainability initiatives, certification for sustainability. Our hotels have been encouraged to take sustainability certificates. So these are some of the things we do, and we work on a little higher plane and a constructive plan rather than pushing demands only. And our 2 or 3 demands Mr. Kachru will talk about is that we need in India, not Goa so much. Goa fortunately has quite a good accommodation. All over India, we are terribly short about accommodation. We have 180 branded rooms. We have a very large number of other rooms, okay, OYO, etc. are coming, that's okay. But what happens is that discerning tourists look for a certain brand, that this is a quality and this is service we give.
So secure, safety, is something when you book on, particularly these days when you book online, you want to be sure where you are going and what to expect. So we're trying to put that together, and as Mr. Bezbaruah said, we're short of accommodation countrywide. And we're trying to create a platform where one state gets an advantage from the other state. And regionally what can be done? It's not only we are looking for some key markets. Yes, we will focus on key markets, but the potential is huge. And as coming back to Goa, Goa is just not beaches. It's much, much more than beaches. So we need to equally focus on that, focus on sustainability, so that people are assured that they are coming to the right place and they are not doing something which will impact adversely the local communities, and work together with the government. Tourism being a state subject, I think state government has to get a little more involved, and this will have better effect. We just spoke about employment. I mean, officially we say 2 rooms, 2 people per room employment. I mean, today we are less than 200,000 rooms, but we are looking at million rooms, countrywide. So you can imagine direct employment and indirect employment. Almost 9 to 10 people are directly or indirectly employed by our own vertical, hospitality vertical. So we contribute at a very well level to the GDP of the country. We contribute to job employment. So what we are seeking is that, we give back at the same time, but take care of what we have today. We should not divert our attention from the key focus areas. Coming back to Goa, what are the pain points in Goa? We need to address that. We had very good meetings with Minister for Tourism, Ronji, and then we had a very good meeting with the Chief Minister, and we were very encouraged on their way of thinking of what they want to project in terms of what Goa is, what Goa can do to Goa, and what Goa can do to the rest of the country, and how to get more and more international tourists, whether it is from different verticals of meeting and conventions, weddings, business travelers, your leisure travelers. So I think there is enough attention. We are getting more and more members involved who can locally, and we can help them nationally.
There are 2 reasons why we are here. Is firstly that we want the states involvement with the states. It is where everything happens. And second thing, let us say that we do interact with you all because you are very, very important. I don't know if you realize your power that you have in the changes that we are trying to bring in tourism and other things. So in creating awareness, and also please tell us what you think should be the future roadmap for Goa from your understanding and experiences locally, because the Chief Minister and the Tourism Minister asked us that please tell us what we need to do for future. So that is the whole purpose of this meeting, and we are thankful that you are all here, and a lovely place. And
we're establishing a chapter here. I think one of the big things is we're establishing Goa chapter to take care of the region and work very closely with us so that it gets more attention nationally and in all the states which have a pull factor for Goa.
Up to you now.
Yeah, so you spoke about to the Chief Minister yesterday, and you just now spoke about.
If you can just introduce yourself
Yeah.
also, because
Sorry.
we have. Yeah.
Newton from the Times of India.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, you spoke to the Chief Minister yesterday, and just now you spoke about bringing about a change locally in Goa. Could you give us an idea of what are the pain points that you all feel that need to be addressed, and also where you all are thinking of collaborating, or whether the state is collaborating with you all in certain sectors?
You see, our members are focusing a lot on taking care of the environment and the communities. And sustainability is one of the key issues, because Goa is so beautiful that I think if we can maintain it in a manner that it continues to have that pull factor, and some regulations to maintain the places. And he agreed that a lot of things are in progress, and they both are looking very seriously of establishing infrastructure for MICE sector, its meetings and conventions. So that will help to bring high value customers, and at the same time, because you are very fortunate, you have upscale, upper upscale and luxury accommodation to a great extent to meet the present demand.
Any pain points that you all discussed?
You know, there are some things which have to be addressed almost every day, like the, beaches have to be perfect, they have to be clean. We have to ensure that it's. I think what is the issue is the execution, and it only is not government's job. It is the industry job, and it is local job to ensure that we present a good product to our guests who come to Goa. So it's a combined effort. We cannot just say that it is your duty and this is mine. Now all our members, hotels who are taking care, and I can assure you, almost all our members are very conscious, because they are responsible for the livelihood of people who work for them. So they want the environment to be taken care of, and that is happening. All our members are doing it, but we want to inculcate much more new initiatives, like skill development, talent development, which is the prime focus of the government here. And we have extended a hand. Our members have already signed and committed themselves to train people. One member has already done it. We are, two other members have given their mentorship to hotel management schools, and other members have also made these offers. So we are weaving that in so that there is a big picture, and then we focus on specifics.
You also spoke about beaches, regarding the beaches to be clean, kept clean and all, the beaches. So the people are local are against for government is trying to lease out these beaches to a long time basis for the hotel. So what do you want to say?
Well, I am honestly not fully aware of what it is, but what we know one thing, we want whatever there is should be maintained well. I mean, that is our
This is the main attraction of Goa traditionally has been the beaches. Of course, it's a different thing that we discussed about diversifying that. We said that you have to go beyond the beaches to what Goa has. Goa has got much more than the beaches. So that is the main theme that we are trying to say that for future, you have to diversify. But within beaches, the point that was mentioned was that yes, we have CRZ problems, we have problems of local communities, but it is the local communities have to go with the whatever government does. So how to do that would be depending on how the government and the industry and the local communities interface. We would strongly suggest that the destination developments should be built on local communities, private sector and the government together.
The private sector, once as the beaches is given to the leases, so they block the accesses for the locals as well as the tourists who come. Only
Yeah.
the particular hotel allows them.
Yeah, personally I think that development cannot be at the cost of comfort to the community. So the community has to be, there will be some ways of finding,
You have to find a reasonable answer where it's a win-win for everybody.
Yes.
And take a long-term view where you want to be.
This is Gerard from Sultan. Goa is a state and India is
Little louder.
yeah, Goa is a state and India is a country is facing competition from destinations like Sri Lanka, Vietnam, Cambodia because they are offering stay at cheaper value and also a better experience. So as an association, where do you think the challenges lie for India as a country and Goa as a state?
I think we have to take a very rational view. I mean, there are certain things which are aligned with market dynamics, which happen. But at the same time, I'll use my previous sentence. I think we have to take a long-term view. If we have to sell Goa, the package has to be right, and if we have to survive in the market, it has to have a pull factor. We have to compete, whether we like it or not. We have to compete with all the destinations around us, and it would be dictated by the market. I don't think any one of us can really decide if market is accepting it. It's like, you have hotels and leisure in luxury segment, you have an upscale, you have a budget, you have an economy. So each one has its own category and its own market. So in the same manner, if Goa has preference for something, yesterday Chief Minister indicated that he wants to push more wellness centers, the right wellness centers in India, so that our positioning can be a little more consolidated. So, as an association, we will tell our members that this is what, if we can, some of us who have expertise in that should try and focus, because we need to align ourselves to the policies where we can move faster, but the right ones.
So I wanted to know, I'm Shoma from the Navin Times, and I wanted to know, during this two-day conference, you all discussed any definite measure to improve foreign tourist footfalls?
I think
any demand from the government, when you are
I think government is aware that we need international tourism more. They have taken steps towards this. It's going to, unfortunately, because of COVID, Goa got a great setback. I mean, from 8 points to moving to less than 1 point. We had issues here particularly. Things are picking up. Some policies have to be tweaked, and better rates, better offerings have to be provided in all segments. It's not only in one segment. While positioning Goa as a high value, luxury hotels will take care of it. But we also have to worry about mid-scale and upper mid-scale at the same time, because India has a huge market for upscale and upper mid-scale.
What does the association feel? How was tourism during the year 24-25? How did tourism fare then?
In general, did the
Yeah.
ARRs go up, down?
Of all states.
Well, 24 has been a great year for all of us. 24 has really been very, very encouraging for the entire industry, pan-India. I can say that pan-India, it has been very good. So we have to, it's not only the rates going up. I think India today has less branded rooms than one state of United States. So you can understand, and we have 145 crore people. We do not have enough rooms. We say, okay, we are emerging, developing economy, we want to move to number 3 place. Yesterday I was hearing, somebody has done a very good analysis. We have, America has 1 hotel room for every 3 people. China has 1 room for every 10 people. We have 1 room for 3,000. And I'm talking about the market, which is affordable market. I'm not talking about our emerging economy, are moving off people across the poverty line. I'm talking about that because they will stay in their category what suits them. So we have ample opportunity. I think infrastructure government has done a fantastic job in connectivity. That will help people to drive. You know, in our own country, people used to take 1 holiday a year. Those who could afford, who were fortunate enough, and go for 10 days, and that was their holiday. Today, Gen Alpha, they want to take shorter holidays, but go 3 times, 4 times a year. The market dynamics has changed. So, with the connectivity, what is happening is, you along the highways, you will have small hotels, people will halt there, then those places will develop. The whole economy is going to actually benefit from all this.
Can I add 1 or 2 points that you have mentioned? Firstly, of course, this conference is little different from our chapter in this thing. He has come for the conference, but HII chapter is different. The very important point that you have raised about foreign tourist arrivals, I am sure is going to engage the attention of the government because there are many issues involved. Some of the issues are like this, that our outbound tourism has been much higher than the inbound tourism. 30 million outbound tourism against 10 million inbound. Out of 10 million, we have foreign NRIs and all this thing. So the balancing that, one of the ways is to recreate that incredible India too. So that is one thing. And second thing is, as Mr. Kachru has mentioned, that all over the world there is a problem now of over-tourism. Now, if you are saying that Bangkok, Vietnam and all are getting cheap tourists, maybe in the long run that may not be the policy for the government, I don't know. But we have to go into high value, low impact foreign tourists. At the same time, we have to make arrangements for the domestic tourism, which is booming, 2,200 million domestic tourists. Not tour numbers, but visits. Now we have to accommodate them. And for that, we have to diversify our destinations. We have got so much in India that why should it be only, Rajasthan and Agra and a few other Kerala beaches and all. So we have to diversify. So these are the policies, I think, which government perhaps is engaged, and we will help in that. The other point that is important is the government had these G20 meetings. G20 countries provide about 70% of the GDP of the world, and they provide about 50% of the tourists coming from to India. So there is an expectation that that impact would be there, that foreign tourists will start coming. But everything will depend on not on the price so much, but on the experience that we create. Now this is what we have to now diversify into creating experiences. Foreign tourists are willing to pay very high prices. As I mentioned about Assam investment, one tour operator was saying, the hotel operator was saying, a new startup. He says that in an out-of-the-way place, not the metro, he put up hotels, he gets 35,000 rupees per night. People are willing to pay because ambience is so different there. The foreign tourists who come there.
People want experiences. I think what Mr. Bezbaruah is saying, if we are able, and I think it's our job as an association to emphasize, prioritize what would work, what may work in Northeast may not work here, what would work in Jammu and Kashmir may not work here. What works here may work somewhere else also. So we have to see that and arrive at a proper decision making. We are fortunate that today's setup nationally and in states is more aligned today because we now have a strong base of domestic tourism. We are not faltering. We have a base. So let's build on that base, create more infrastructure, then do segmentation, decide on which value do we want, what experiences we can offer and where can we offer that.
So till when your Goa chapter going to start? Have you had any conversation with the local hotel association?
Yes, we have had. We are in the, it's a work in progress, but we have decided, the decision has been taken, and we have had talks with local people. They have a few suggestions which we will go back to our executive committee. We have a board and we will put it there, and we start working yesterday on this.
The industry has not asked for e-visas because e-visas have helped a lot. Like that's one of the reasons why so many Indians are traveling abroad, because it is so much easier to go abroad to Thailand and all these countries, but then e-visas are not there. So industry during these 2 days all didn't ask for e-visas from the government, Indian government.
No, e-visas is a policy of the government. The government of India has accepted e-visa. It keeps on changing from time to time depending on the geopolitical situations. Supposing something happens in Myanmar, or something happens in the neighboring countries, so sometimes restrictions come. But India, I don't remember the numbers, a very large number of countries e-visas have been allowed. A very large number of countries on which visa on arrival has been allowed. So their government have facilitated, but Bangkok perhaps has been given free visa. So perhaps we have not gone into that, whether we should go or not. Government as a whole will decide. But government are aware of that.
They are aware and they are actually examining. The good news is they are examining. It's not that,
It is there.
It's there. It is one of the priorities. And, you'll be happy. You must have read, government has decided to create 50 new destinations, which is a fantastic move. And according them, a special status which will give them benefits for people to invest money in those destinations. So it's now for industry together to work very closely with the government.
Heritage is a very big area. Heritage and culture comprises about 50% of the tourists around the world. At least 30% of them, according to World Tourism Organization, come only for experiencing culture and heritage. Now Goa has, I have known Goa for quite some time, I have traveled all the years, I feel that the heritage and culture side has not been sufficiently exploited. And we can also exploit river tourism in Goa. We have got lovely rivers here. And all over the world, river tourism is a very big, it's a Nile and Thames and all those places. We have the Manti River, Samudra River, and the old Goa. So I think all of you, perhaps if you agree, should focus on the community's involvement as well as diversifying Goa's tourism products.
So what are your plans and expectations for 2025 year under your banner?
Now, our banner, we don't have separate plans for this tourism development because that's not our thing. We only supplement government, collaborate with the government. Now, as we have mentioned, all these issues, sustainability, technology, as Mr. Kachru, and then if you think about community involvement, how to encourage community. Mr. Kachru has mentioned that our members have also adopted some institutions, skill institutions, to mentor them and to support. Because there is a big gap between, you see, the industry is looking for people, it is short of people, at the same time there is unemployment of skilled tourism graduates and all. So that must be some gap. So we are trying from our association to bridge that gap.
So what
We
is
want to make people employable. That is what is our, I think the key word is that we should prepare people so that they get employment. It's not just they get a degree or a diploma. So our industry will get involved in it, in training them so that they have opportunities to grow in their lives.
And what would be the skill gap in tourism? Is there, like you said, not just now, that there is a skill gap?
I don't think there has been any study about, I am not aware of, but there are certain studies showing what is the gap requirement of it. But I'm sorry, I won't be able to give you.
You know, I think there is I would, just like to take this question. I am also involved with Skill Council, National Skill Council, I'm on the board. A lot of initiatives have been taken, and we have selected almost over 20 states where we're training youth, which are skill oriented, so that they actually are assured that after their training they will get jobs, and people who are training them, they will give them first opportunity to be employed. So there is a gap because at the moment requirement is much more. It's the same like rooms. We are only less than 200,000 rooms, whereas even the current requirement actually is 500,000. So we don't have, in the same manner, we want to actually prepare ourselves. If infrastructure is being developed, new cities are being developed, new hotels will come up, restaurants will come up. People have to be prepared, they have to be trained so that they are employable at that point. So we have to take a holistic approach. We just can't do it and then look for people who are not there. So there is a gap. To answer your question, there is a gap, and I think Government of India, Ministry of Skill Development is doing a commendable job on this.
In all the areas of the industry, or like in the kitchen side or anything, or it is everywhere in the entire hotel industry, the skill?
I think skill development is happening in all areas, but I'm involved only in tourism sector, so I'm only aware of that. And National Skill Council for Tourism is doing a fantastic job.
what she is asking is whether it is in the F&B or front desk or something. Where
No, holistic. That's what I said. It's holistic. It's in skill development. We are even training engineers, cooks, waiters, housekeepers. So it's at all levels in hospitality. We have programs where India will be proud of actually training people, great bartenders. India was really not known. The kind of mixing. Our people, our own people, they are no less than anywhere else in the world.
There is a big opportunity outside India also for skilled people, because there is a very big shortage internationally, and countries like our neighbors like Thailand and others, I'm quite sure quite a large number of Indians are getting employment, but I don't have facts on that. So this is an opportunity for India because we are quite rich.